It's 6 in the morning. You walk into the laundry room barefoot and step into 2 inches of cold, soapy water. Somewhere behind the wall of suds, your washing machine is making a sound you've never heard before. A deep, metallic grinding, like a blender full of bolts. You paid $1,200 for this thing. It's barely 6 years old. And by the time the repair tech shows up that afternoon, he's going to tell you something that feels almost insulting. It's not worth fixing. Just buy a new one. What he won't tell you, what he can't tell you without getting into trouble, is that this exact moment was baked into the machine the day it rolled off the assembly line. Because here's the truth almost nobody talks about. Around 90% of modern front-load washers are engineered around a single component that is mathematically guaranteed to fail. A cheap 3-pronged aluminum bracket bolted inside a steel drum, soaking in hot water and detergent day after day. It's called the spider bracket, and it's quietly turning billion-dollar appliance brands into the most profitable scam in your house. If you care about owning things that actually last, hit subscribe because this is the kind of stuff the industry would rather you never find out. Now, to understand how bad this is, you have to rewind about 40 years. Your grandmother's washing machine, that loud, heavy, ugly thing in the basement, was built on a solid steel transmission, cast iron parts, mechanical timers, no circuit boards, no aluminum brackets. Those machines ran for 20, 25, sometimes 30 years. People passed them down. Repairmen knew them by heart. A belt here, a seal there, and it kept going. Fast forward to today. You walk into any big box store and you see rows of sleek front-loading machines with touchscreens and steam cycles and smartphone apps. They look like spaceships. They're marketed as efficient, gentle, advanced. And they're built to die on a timer somewhere between 5 and 8 years. Same brand names, same logos, completely different philosophy. So what actually changed? The answer is the geometry. When you flip a washing machine on its side, which is exactly what a front loader is, the drum is no longer sitting on a vertical shaft. It's cantilevered out horizontally, which means all the weight of wet laundry, all the force of 1,000 RPM spin cycle, all the vibration from an unbalanced load has to be supported by something behind the drum. That something is the spider bracket. 3 aluminum arms, shaped like a Y, bolted to the back of the stainless steel drum. And that's where the story gets ugly. Aluminum and steel don't like each other. When you put 2 different metals in contact, add water, and add something alkaline like laundry detergent, you've built a battery. Not a metaphor, an actual functioning galvanic cell. And in that reaction, one metal eats the other alive. Guess which one loses? The aluminum. Every single time. Every cycle you run, every splash of detergent, every drop of moisture that sits between those bolts is slowly dissolving the bracket that holds your drum together. It's corrosion in slow motion. Teardown videos on YouTube and Reddit show it clearly. Spider brackets inside washers barely 5 years old, eaten through, cracked, crumbling like old chalk. This isn't rare, this is the norm. Now let's talk about what manufacturers actually claim. Open any brochure, any product page, any glossy ad. You'll see phrases like energy efficient, gentle on fabrics, built to last, 10-year motor warranty. Sounds great, right? Read the fine print. The 10-year warranty almost always covers the motor, sometimes the drum shell, almost never the spider bracket, almost never the bearings, almost never the tub seal. In other words, they warranty the parts that rarely fail and exclude the parts that always do. That's not marketing, that's strategy. And while all this looks pristine from the outside, the inside of that drum is a chemistry experiment. Hot water, bleach residue, fabric softener, detergent buildup, trapped moisture, heat cycling every single day. It's the perfect environment to accelerate corrosion. The bracket doesn't just age, it's being actively attacked from the moment you plug the machine in. Here's where it gets worse. Let's say you're handy. You figure, okay, the bracket's the problem, I'll just replace it. You can't. On almost every modern front loader, the spider is either welded or pressed directly into the drum assembly. It's not a serviceable part. To replace it, you have to replace the entire inner drum, which often means buying a full drum and bearing kit that runs $600, $700, sometimes $900, plus 8 hours of labor. By the time you add it all up, you're at 60 to 80% of the cost of a brand new machine. That's not an accident of design, that's the design. Most people don't realize how deep this goes. So if this is hitting home, drop a like so more people see it. And once the bracket starts to fail, everything else goes with it. The drum starts wobbling just slightly off axis. That wobble hammers the main bearings. The bearings grind themselves to powder. The powder contaminates the tub seal. The seal fails. Water starts pouring through the bearing housing onto the motor and control board below. That's your flooded laundry room at 6 a.m. The whole cascade, bracket, bearings, seal, motor, can unfold in a matter of weeks once it starts. One cheap piece of aluminum takes the entire machine down with it. Now compare that to a traditional top loader. The drum sits vertically on a direct shaft. No cantilever, no spider bracket. Lower spin speeds, less destructive force. A solid metal transmission doing the work. There's no aluminum and steel battery forming inside because there's no aluminum bracket to corrode. The geometry itself protects the machine. It's why your grandmother's washer outlived 3 cars. And this is the part that should really get your attention. This isn't one bad brand having a bad decade. Teardown after teardown. Whirlpool, Samsung, LG, GE, Bosch, Electrolux. The same corroded bracket, the same failure pattern, the same timeline. Different logos, same scam. Multiply that across the millions of front loaders sold every year, and you're looking at mountains of e-waste, billions in repair costs, and an entire generation of buyers who've been quietly trained to believe that 7 years is a good run for a washing machine. Your grandparents would find that offensive. They'd be right. If you've had a front loader die on you like this, tell me in the comments, because the more people hear these stories, the harder it gets for the industry to pretend it's normal. So what do you actually buy? This is where the story shifts. There are still machines out there built the old way. The one name that comes up again and again is Speed Queen, specifically their TC5 and TR series top loaders. Commercial grade, solid steel transmission, cast aluminum, yes, but used correctly in a vertical orientation with no galvanic bath eating it from the inside. These machines are designed for a 25-year service life. Laundromats run them 20 hours a day and they keep going. You can also hunt down older used top loaders, pre-2012 Maytags, Whirlpool direct drive units, which are still outlasting anything sitting on a showroom floor today. When you're shopping, the checklist is simple. Metal transmission, not plastic. Mechanical timer, not a touchscreen. Serviceable parts you can actually get. A warranty that covers the drum assembly, not just the motor. There's a trade-off, and it's worth being honest about it. Top loaders use a bit more water, a bit more energy per load. That's the price of not having a machine engineered to self-destruct. For most people, that trade-off pays for itself the first time they don't have to shop for a new washer in year 7. So come back to that flooded laundry room, the grinding drum, the repair quote that feels like a punchline. That wasn't bad luck. That wasn't a lemon. That wasn't a manufacturing defect. That was the machine doing exactly what it was designed to do. Run long enough to clear the warranty, fail before you can justify repairing it, and send you right back into the store for the next one. Buying a washing machine in 2026 isn't really a choice between brands. It's a choice between renting an appliance for 7 years or owning one for 25. If you want more videos pulling back the curtain on the industry's quietly engineering your stuff to fail, subscribe and stick around, because this is just one machine in a much bigger story.